Assalamu alaikum and welcome. You're watching Real English News along with your host Sharif Akram Yamani. Let's have a look on today's headlines. CM Oommen Chandy arrives at Kochi airport to receive Indian nurses. Neymar injury, Brazil's World Cup dream suffers setback. Militants attack Yemen Saudi border post. Electricity crisis, scene cuts, power paralyze Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. West Bengal CM Mamata Banerjee attacks Center over Food Security failure. Let's have a look on headlines in details. Kerala Chief Minister Oommen Chandy on Saturday arrived at the Kochi airport to receive the Indian nurses who are returning home after being freed by ISI militants in Iraq. I am feeling relieved. Not only me, the whole people of Kerala are feeling relieved, says Chandy. He said that it was a joint effort of Kerala government and the central government which has resulted in nurses being free from the captivity. The special Air India flight carrying the nurses along with 137 other arrived at Mumbai earlier today. The plane will be reaching Kochi at around 12 p.m. From there, the plane would make the next stop at Hyderabad and will be going to its last destination, that is Delhi, in the evening. Anxious families, members of the nurses, were eagerly awaiting their arrival. The 46 nurses had been reportedly taken away by ISIS militants from Tikrit to an old building somewhere in Mosul late on Thursday night. There were about 10,000 Indians in Iraq before the start of the strife between government troops and Sunni militants. The militants have captured two key cities and have their sights set on Baghdad. Hundreds of thousands of Iraqis have been displaced in the fighting that broke out on June 10.
I have to say thanks to everybody, those who involved in this operation. See, the Union Minister for External Affairs, Sushma Swaraj, and the senior officers of MEA, and the ambassador and his staff in Baghdad, they are all worked together. Only because of that joint effort, we can have a joint situation like this.
You had gone.
Footy Lanza winner Pierre Mar was live with the sounds of Brazil celebration after they took another step towards 2000 FIFA World Cup final, but there was no mistaking taking the Neymar effect. The road that sweeps around the front of the picture, northeastern coastal location, was populated with fans torn between the joy of quarter-final victory against Colombia and the sadness of seeing the icon and greatest hope left in a local clinic and out of the tournament. Neymar's departure on a stretcher with a fracture vertebra was not actually a footnote to the win that set up a semi-final against Germany, but few suspected the full consequences of Colombia defender John Zonge cynical knee in the back at the actual moment of impact. And the scale of Neymar's importance to host Brazil and the World Cup was illustrated by the reaction as recognition hit home that 22-year-old was facing a fight to remain involved in the showpiece that so often bears his name and face here in Brazil. Militants struck a border post between Yemen and Saudi Arabia in an attack that left 2 soldiers and 3 of the gunmen dead. Officials said on Saturday that was violence. SABA Sabah said other gunmen that then fled into 2 cars towards Saudi Arabia after border guards opened fire. Saudi Interior Ministry spokesman Maj Gan, that is General Mansour al-Turki, said the Saudi government exchanged fire with gunmen in the same area, killing 3 of them and arresting another. He said a Saudi border guard commander was killed. Al-Turki said border guards suspected that 1 or 2 gunmen managed to flee and that security man was combing the area and some nearby building. Sabah linked the attack of Al-Qaeda, but weapons smugglers and human traffickers also are active in the area. Al-Turki said in May that security traffickers also are active in the same area and arrested 62 militants, including some suspected of workers with Al-Qaeda militants in Yemen on a plan for smuggling weapons and preparing attack against Saudiya clerks and senior government officials among other targets. Long official power cuts coupled with an unofficial load shedding has crippled normal life and plugged the industry sector into losses of hundreds of crores of rupees in both Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Rough estimation by industrialists associated with the Federation of Andhra Pradesh Chambers of Commerce and Industry, that is FICCI, put that daily industrial loss due to power into holiday and unofficial power caused over rupees 150 crores per day in both regions. The situation is so bad that even Greater Hyderabad is relying under more than 6 hours of power cuts, sometimes extending to 10 hours in some of the colonies. Thanks to combination of official and unofficial load shedding, the situation is equally bad in other cities and towns like Vijayawada, Visakhapatnam, Tirupati, Guntur, Rangareddy, Medak, Nalgonda, Khammam, Mahbubnagar, Karimnagar, Medak, Kurnool and Anantapur, while 4 to 6 hours official power cuts are being imposed in district headquarters. It is up to 8 hours in mandal headquarters and between 10 to 12 hours in villages. Patients, particularly diabetes, are affected as their medicines are like insulin have to be stored in refrigerators, with power outages occurring almost throughout the day. Storage of insulin has emerged as a big challenge. After day-long fasting, the first thing we like to do is to drink cool water from the refrigerator after breaking our fast with the dates. But due to power cuts, we cannot depend on the refrigerator, says Mr. Parvez Sharif to Toli Chowki. The special Air India plane that is bringing back 46 Indian nurses who were freed by militants in Won town, Iraq on Friday evening is expected to land in India soon. The plane took off from the airport in Erbil in the autonomous regions of Kurdistan at about 4:15 am IST. The Air India Boeing 777 is expected to land in Mumbai around 9:30 am for refueling and will then head to Kochi. Most of the Indians being brought back to Iraq belong to Kerala. How India secured its nurses released in Iraq. Beside the 46 nurses, the plane is also carrying 100 other Indians who were working in Iraq and now wanted to come back because of the crisis over there. They are being accompanied by officials of the Ministry of External Affairs and the Kerala government. Air India plane leaves for Iraq to bring back freed Indian nurses that nurses have been living in a hospital in Tikrit, the birthplace of former President of Saddam Hussein, which has seen fierce fighting this week as Iraqi troops battle to regain control of the city from Sunni insurgent group, that is ISIS or the Islamic State in Iraq. The Levant 39 Indian construction workers kidnapped 2 weeks ago in Mosul remain in captivity. Mr. Akbar Uddin Awaisi said there was a significant number of Indians in ISIS captivity. We will leave no stone unturned to get back our nation from an extreme difficult situation, Mr. Akbar Uddin Awaisi said. About 1,000, that is 10,000 Indians work in Iraq. Scores of them have returned to India since fighting began. The government says some 900 people are ready to fly home. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on Monday blamed the centre for its failure to implement its Food Security Act in West Bengal so far. The union government has failed to put in place a proper law and decide on the funding of the scheme, she said at an event held in the city. She claimed that despite the centre's failure to implement the act, her government was supplying rice to over 3.2 crores people, rupees 2 a kg. Mamata's remark came days after Ram Vilas Paswan, the Union Minister for Food and Public Distribution, rejected her government's plea to extend the deadline for 6 months to implement the act. The deadline was initially set for July 4th, but the Food Ministry last Thursday deferred it by 3 months. Let's have a look on today's top stories of sports news. Brazil to lock horn with Germany is semis, Neymar ruled out. The fireworks celebrating the home team victory had barely subsided when the disastrous news of its superstar striker, that is Neymar, being ruled out of the tournament was made public. Very horrible. 22-year-old Neymar, who lit up the World Cup with a skill and temperament, fractured a bone on his back, that is third vertebra, when he was kneed in the back by Colombia defender John Camilo Zingaya. Earlier in Royal Deal Geneva, Mats Hummels' first half header proved decisive as Germany reached the semi-finals for the fourth successive time with a solitary goal win over fellow European Janes, France. Federer's I Wimbledon record against Djokovic. Federer, 32, won the first of his 17 majors of Wimbledon in 2003, the most recent in 2012, but his failure to return the Grand Slam final since has had his critics penning his career obituary. Triple Olympic champion Stephanie Rice to help improve Indian swimming. Stephanie Rice, Australian triple Olympic champion, who called time on her illustrious swimming career in April this year at the age of 25, has joined sports management firm Rihtit Sports with an aim to improve the overall health of the water sport in India. Irritated Tendulkar fans target Swarupa on social media. The controversy started when the cricket icon was spotted in the royal box along with former England skipper Andrew Strauss and England soccer star, that is David Beckham, on Saturday. And a reporter later asked Swarupa, "Do you know who Sachin is?" To which she replied, "I don't." For fanatical Tendulkar fans, who this was an insult they could not tolerate, they took the social media like crazy bees. Of 50,000 comments were posted on the official Facebook page of Sherpa by Thursday afternoon. FIFA World Cup 2014, David Luiz Steiner frees Brazil into semi-finals. A sensational David Luiz freeze kick took Brazil into the World Cup semi-final with a 2-1 victory over Colombia. But the tournament host saw striker Neymar cried off in agony. Let's have a look on today's stock market. Sensex 25,962.06 with 0.54%, whereas Nifty for today stand with 7,751.60, that is 0.48%. Let's have a look on today's gold and silver rates as per Malabar Golds. According to Malabar Golds, today's gold rates, that's 5th of July, Saturday, are as follows. For 22 carats of gold for 10 grams, it's rupees 26,460. Whereas for 24 carats of gold for 10 grams, it's rupees 27,980 for 10 grams. Silver rates for today for 10 grams, it's rupees 487. Let's have a look on today's weather report of 6 regions of Telangana state. Hyderabad, minimum temperature 24 degrees Celsius and maximum 36 degrees Celsius. Karimnagar, minimum temperature 27 degrees Celsius and maximum 37 degrees Celsius. Nizamabad, minimum temperature 27 degrees Celsius and maximum 37 degrees Celsius. Mehbubnagar, minimum temperature 24 degrees Celsius and maximum 36 degrees Celsius. Medak, minimum temperature 24 degrees Celsius and maximum 36 degrees Celsius. Whereas today's Khammam district temperature stand with minimum as 28 degrees Celsius and maximum 38 degrees Celsius. Headlines once again. CM Momin Chandi arrives at Kochi airport to receive Indian nurses. Neymar injury, Brazil's World Cup dream suffers setback. Militiants attack Yemen Saudi border post. Electricity crisis, scene cuts, power paralyzed Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. West Bengal CM Mamata Banerjee attacks Center over food security failure. That's all in this newscast for today. Keep watching Real English News along with your host Sharif Akram Memani. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.